The worst year for a lot of us for our mental as well as physical health. So joining us this morning is best-selling author, coach, and fitness expert, Lisa Goldenthal.
Hello and welcome. I'm Lisa G, your host. You're at the top of your game, yet the game is changing faster than ever. Strategies that got you here aren't the ones that'll keep you here. The pressure is relentless, and the fear of obsolescence looms large. That's why I'm here. Welcome to the new podcast series, Disrupted: How to Be Gritty and Unlock Performance. This is your chance where I sit down with today's tops in business, mindset, wellness, and success to help you master disruption and thrive.
Thanks for coming, and I'll see you soon.
Today's guest is a trailblazer in media, psychology, and cultural storytelling. She's worked with NHL, Peabody Awards, Vogue, and Wired, and created Fan X 360, game-changing framework that turns passive audience into local superfans. President of the board at Black Girl Hockey Club, Salzburg Global Fellow, and professor who makes media psychology feel like a masterclass in strategy. She's here to flip the script on how we connect, engage, and lead. Buckle up. This one will change how you think about content and community and culture. Welcome to the podcast, Dr. Tunisha Singleton.
Hi, thank you for having me, Lisa.
Oh my God, it's so much fun having you, and we're just getting started.
Yeah.
Dive into the questions. You see, loyalty isn't built through content, it's built through connection. What do most brands get wrong about fan engagement in 25?
I think they insult our intelligence a lot. I feel like a lot of marketing is just the copy and paste, general same thing. Let's throw this hashtag on there. Let's make a fun video. It's so much more than that. And there's like two beefs that I have with it. One is this kind of lazy, hey, just buy this because capitalism, because consumerism, you want. Let's want, which from a psychological perspective is like, okay, that's bad, right? And then, the other thing that I really bugs me about it is that there's such a concentration on Gen Z. It's like, what about me? What about me? What about the middle-aged folks? Can we get some love too? Like, don't forget, we're here, we're online, we're actually the ones with the money. Hey, so I think brands have a huge opportunity to just actually get back into the storytelling, get back into the story. What are you offering me? Your brand is not about a product or service, it's an experience. You are doing something for me. This is transactional. I will give you my money and you will make me blank, make me better at this, make me more equipped, make me these things, if we look at them like experiences, then the consumer, we feel like we're in control of our lives and not the device has control of us. But we can start to look at them as like a utility to the human experience. So marketing should be this very 360 story-based thing on connection. Like, what are you giving to me? So be more transparent and like, talk to me. Talk to me. Don't just be like, hey, buy this. This is cool. Look, everybody wants a Stanley mug. Do I? Why? So I think the storytelling needs to get richer, experience-based. And don't forget the middle-aged folks. Don't forget the 80s babies.
I love that. Well, can you dive into a little bit of specifics about how we can connect with our audience more in a more emotional way with storytelling? Like, do you have an example of what that would look like done right?
Yeah, when I was getting my dissertation, doing my dissertation while getting my PhD is in media psychology, and my expertise was in fandom, like sports fandom, the sport experience, because I'm a big sports nut. And I
Wow.
wanted to understand how fan identity is changing based on all of the new media that's going around and the acceleration of technology into our lives and all of that stuff. And it led me into an area of organizational psychology, which is all about the components of commitment. How do you make somebody loyal? how do you get somebody committed to reduce turnover, right? In
Right.
HR. So it's like, have you seen Trader Joe's people? Like those are the happiest people I've seen on the planet. Like they die
I
hard.
missed that. I wish we had one.
Really? You don't have? Ah, yeah,
Come to Kennewick.
come. People at Apple, you look at, they love working there, right? They don't
Right.
have to worry about turnover. So there are three components of commitment in org psych on that level that I believe also translates into sports fandom and lifestyle, anything that is related to getting a group of people to buy in, believe something, join this, be committed to that. It's group
Yeah.
dynamics. And those three things I translate it into want, need, should. So the first one, it's like affective attachment. So it's the want factor. I want to go tailgate so I can be with more Eagles fans. I want
Ah,
to buy this product because it's in my favorite color, right? It's like I
right.
want to do something. The second is continuance, which I call the need factor. So it's I need to go to work or I'm not going to get paid. I
Yeah.
I need to watch game one of the NBA finals or I'm going to miss out and all my friends are going to bag on me because I didn't see Halliburton, make the game winning shot with 1 second, So it's that perceived cost of missing out on something.
FOMO.
That period. And then the last one is called normative, which I just translate into it's the should factor. It's the ought
Okay.
to. It's that responsibility where
Yeah.
now you feel like you have some bit of responsibility. So, oh, you know what? I just got promoted. I should show up to work early. I should
Yeah.
lead from the front. That looks good. It's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm captain of the team now. I should be first in, last out. Or you know what? I live in Las Vegas. I should root for the Golden Knights. Yeah, they're my local team. I should root for the Aces. They're my WNBA team. Okay, yeah. So it's the responsibility, right? So
Right.
if you can make someone want, need, and feel like they should, you've got somebody committed. You now have the basis to launch strategies to get people in your door, to make people want to be a part of the experience. You could apply that to voting. You could apply that to social justice issues.
Right.
It doesn't matter because one of the things I always say is we're in the people business. So
Right.
it behooves us to understand people
Yeah.
to us as people, right? Like not robots. That's going to be the big difference of how we spot a human from AI, right? Is there going to be some like basic shit and then sorry, that happens a lot. Yeah, basic stuff. And then you're going to hear something that's actually you can tell it came from the heart. So
Yeah.
knowing that we're in the people business, you can use that model and apply it to anything because you're talking to people and wanting to make them committed, loyal, a part of what you're doing.
Well, I love the tie-in of being authentically yourself in leadership and the tie-in where it's good in
Yeah.
anything, like you said, social justice, politics,
Mm-hmm.
sports, and leadership. Like if you're in leadership, this is for you guys. This is like a masterclass in marketing, but it seems to me like it would apply to be a masterclass
Yes.
in quiet quitting and how to have that kind of Apple team or Trader Joe team.
Mm-hmm. And even local communities, that can be of different political affiliations, different backgrounds. It doesn't matter. Like as long as like we're all together and understand that we can control what you can control and
Right.
don't be so like I don't know if the word is egotistical or something, but like thinking that you have the power and authority to change other people and make them buy in. It's a very persuasive kind of thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, being yourself and authentic is something huge. And I didn't learn that until I was well into my 30s. And I wish I got that lesson and learned it so much earlier. I would have saving myself years of stress, right? And
Yeah. Like
less
we're
of the
trying to
stress.
be like others until we realize that you got to stand out. I mean, you got to
Yeah,
stand out in the crowd.
and I think there's this weird stigma that like success means like you look a certain way. Looks not only you look a certain way, but your space looks a certain way. Like, okay, a doctorate, that means you look like this, you dress like this, you talk like this, you wear this, you go here and there and there. And it's like, no, like as if it's like hopping the broom. Like all of a sudden you go on the other side and then like it's different and people see you different. It doesn't,
Right.
and it's not. And it breaks my heart sometimes because when I'm teaching, a lot of the college students that here at UNLV where I've taught,
Yeah.
they are amazed that I'm their professor because sometimes, like I talk like this, very, very real in the subjects that I teach. Um, I could come in with a power suit one day and then ripped jeans and a hockey jersey the next day, and they're like, "Whoa, you could do that?" And I'm like, "Why can't I?"
You
Yeah,
can break the mold. I mean, this is what makes you memorable to me. I feel like if you were to go in the power suit every day, they're like, oh, there she is, another power suit,
not
but
real.
shock them with like something authentic.
And not real. And yeah, and so telling them, and one of the things I've always stressed with them, it's like you do not have to sacrifice your spirit to be successful.
Yeah.
Like getting a PhD, that does not mean you have to surgically remove your soul. All of a sudden, you can't watch pro wrestling anymore. You can't go here anymore. It's like, oh no, I'm doing all of that still. And there wasn't anyone who told me that when I was coming up, when I was in my 20s and going through school. No one was telling me that. No one was doing that. And so, I mean, that's why I try to emphasize that when I'm teaching, because it ain't certainly for the money, like, because we get paid nothing.
Right.
Jeez,
Right.
nothing.
Impact. You're making an impact. And I want to talk a
That's
little
where
bit
it is.
about FanX. It's brilliant. I mean, can you break down the core pillars and again, how leaders outside of entertainment can apply them?
Yeah, so it's really based again on those three components of commitment that want, need, should. But in
Yeah.
addition, it's really starting to look at emotional intelligence and understanding that the experience that your brand is providing, it starts before they even get there.
Right.
So the consumer journey goes from not only just word of mouth, the vibe that you're offering, but there are touch points before, during, and after that need specific attention and strategy into designing it, right? So it's
Ah,
like if you're buying a ticket for a game, to go to a sporting game or something like that, it's like, okay, one, how are you getting them even to buy that ticket, right? And once they get in the door, maybe they got the worst seat in the house. How else? What else is around that they can experience? A lot of real estate walking around. Is there some activations you could build for, they can start to learn the history of MSG or T-Mobile Arena? And then when they leave the game, on the way home, how are you still keeping them engaged? How are you still talking to them? What are you still offering once the buzzer buzzers? Because the experience of sports, I mean, hey, it's it goes beyond the scoreboard. It goes beyond that clock, right? There's no expiration date to the sport experience. We're talking about the NFL and they ain't even in training camp yet. It's
yeah.
24/7. And ESPN went 24/7, I think, in 79. So it just shows that, like, if we look at the evolution of sports media consumption, it shows
Yeah.
that fans are wanting to be more lean in. They want more access, more, more, more. So how are brands going to deliver that? And you got to think of the experience you're giving at every touch point, at before, during, and after. So looking at those three phases is kind of my specialty in looking at, the emotional intelligence, behavioral insights, those kind of things, and then also tech, innovation, media, and content strategy to make sure that you're talking to real people and you're making them interested in what you've got, whether you're a new fan or a longtime one. So there's a lot of different ways that you would talk to them differently, right?
Yeah.
So
Dr. T, this is like a master class in marketing, and it's such a short podcast. And I remember going to Vegas and going to the Sphere, and that was to me
yeah.
a fantastic experience.
Uh-huh. I went there for UFC Noche last September, I think it was. The UFC fight they had there, the one and only. It was remarkable. A vodka soda for $90 was not.
I
But
mean, yeah, but the experience, like the haptics and the optics and the
yeah.
music, I mean, acoustics, the whole
And
thing.
the fact that, I mean, the Sphere outside, it's still there's always something different flashing up there. So you're still obviously going to know the sphere is here, whether you go in or not, so that it's a really cool activation here. And so I'm excited to see. I know some of the MSG partners are part owners of that. So I'm excited to see what else they've got in store.
Wow. Well, that was a fantastic experience. Like, final question, I think anything else you want to drop, wisdom bombs you want to drop on our audience, Dr. T, about cultural storytelling and why we need it?
Yeah, I think you can't cosplay culture. You can't cosplay it. You have to be authentic with it, careful with it, because culture is our vibe. It's man-made, it's woman-made. And so that's not just there's a very big difference between appreciation and appropriation,
Right.
right? So knowing that if you want to be a fan of hip hop, soul food, urban lifestyle, all of those quotes, that they use. It's like, okay, fine, that's great, you can, but profiting off of it while not acknowledging where it's coming from, that's the dangerous part.
Yeah.
That's where it gets dangerous. But cultural storytelling is so important, and it can be done in a way that's entertaining and educating at the exact same time. So I encourage people to get a little bit creative, scratch their heads, and actually start to sit and think about how you can entertain and educate at the same time, and using that to amplify culture.
I'd love it. Well, thanks for being a fantastic guest, Dr.
Thank
Tunisha
you.
Singleton. Where can people find more of you?
Yes, if you go to my website, tunishasingleton.com, I'm on Twitter /X at T Singleton Says. And I'm on LinkedIn under my name, Tunisha Singleton. You could find me that way. And always just feel free to reach out and drop a bomb and holler at me.
Awesome. I will be doing that for sure.
Great. Thank you.